Welcome along to the Witsup preview of the Ironman 70.3 Sunshine Coast event. We have a very special guest panellist. I'm not talking about you. No, very special guest panellist with us today, the original scholarship ambassador, Kacey Willoughby. It is in your hometown. Welcome along.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, look, it's an absolute pleasure to have you in your own hometown. Just quickly, how exciting is it for you to have an event like this, literally 2 minutes from your door? And when I say literally, I'm using that word right. I'm not using it like the people on The Bachelor use it and go, he literally ripped my heart out. You literally live 2 minutes away.
2 minutes away. Yeah, it's very exciting. I love seeing the athletes rolling in and, you know, to have an event like this that's, right here. I'm not racing on the Sunday, but to be able to watch it and watch some of the best in the world go around, it's very exciting.
And then next year, literally the best in the world will be here.
Yeah, so again, I'm not planning on moving anywhere. So, yeah, plenty of room for anyone that wants to come and stay. We're literally at the front door.
Kacey's phone number is... All right, we're actually just going to go through parts of the press conference from yesterday. So check this clip out from Caroline Steffen.
It's not perfect. It still hurts sometimes when, going hard in training or like coughing or breathing a bit hard. So it's just, I think I never had an injury like that before, but ribs are really painful and it just takes a long time. And it's just a long thing, and I think it takes another few weeks to heal 100% and maybe up to 90% now, which is, I think, good enough to race, but definitely not 100% then.
We're talking to Caroline the other week on the road, and she was saying that somebody just walked out from the crowd in front of her and took her out, and it's kind of like, you know, there's a race happening, why don't you look before you cross? Like, simple, but, you know, wrong place, wrong time, and she got the raw end of the stick with that one, unfortunately.
I can't believe, like, Caroline Steffen doesn't just spin around a course. She's going pretty hard. So I do wonder how the other guy, ended up.
Exactly, and I think, he's probably got up and took off pretty quick, seeing who he knocked over.
The other thing with this injury is, and we were discussing it earlier, Caroline's not the kind of person to say, I'm only 60%, I'm only 80%. If she's saying that she's at about 90%, I completely believe her.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what I love about her as an athlete and looking up to her is that, she's not making excuses for whatever might happen. She's, this is the injury, this is where I'm at.
I always feel kind of stronger after go up that hill. So for my kind of style of running, it helps me to get stronger in the second half part of the race. And I felt that last year really strong, that once I was up that hill, I really body was pretty much ready to go. And I think that helped me last year to run that 118 I had. That was the best run by far ever had. I think I was in a really, really good shape last year as well, maybe a bit too early leading up to Kona. But different story this year, but definitely I think it's a very, very good course.
Yeah, it was interesting her talking about the hill. I did the Olympic distance here years ago when I was a triathlete, not just a person who talked about triathlon. And that hill was a freaking nightmare. And she's like, I'm going to eat it up. It's great. You live here. Yeah. Do you avoid that hill like the plague, or do you use it as a really good training tool?
I definitely use it as a really good training tool. Our track sessions are up and over. Any run, Tuesday run, Sunday run, definitely don't avoid it. It's only going to make you stronger to go.
I don't know. I think I don't know if I'll see really sort of what shape I'm in come this weekend. I haven't sort of, I wouldn't say I've really tapered. So I'm not going to get too caught up in this result and sort of, really analyse my form. But I've been doing some varied running, so hopefully there's a bit of speed in there. But it's really important for me to come up and just do a race. I am an athlete that really likes to race a lot, and I haven't raced much over the last 3 months, so I think it's just a confidence booster. Not really even dependent on results, but just to feel like I'm back out there racing and get me sort of in that headspace that racing's coming up.
If I'm correct, Bella works part-time.
Yeah. She works at National Australia Bank, so I think it's quite interesting watching her prepare for her first Kona, like so many age groupers, because I guess her story is similar to an age grouper in that she's got to fit in work around all these other bits and pieces, and yeah, it's part-time, but she leads a very, very busy lifestyle, but it clearly works for her.
Yeah. It's crazy, like trying to fit in any type of work around training, especially when you're trying to, when you're training for Kona. You don't go into that race half-hearted, so, she might only be working part-time, but, she's not getting the recovery of a full-time, a full-time professional and things like that. So it's full on,
and doing it all in Melbourne winter as well. I'm really keen to see how she goes tomorrow. I think that like she said, this is it's not a results-based race or anything, but I think she'll just be wanting to unleash, escape from the long hours in the dark and the wet and all that kind of stuff, and unleash out here on the Sunshine Coast, I think.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's not too bad, and going in with no pressure and not time-based or results-based and things like that, that happens all the time, that they then go out and have absolute blinders. So if it is a little bit cooler, then it's going to work in her favour as well. So yeah, I'm thinking she'll be in for a great race tomorrow.
Yeah, so it was my longest injury. I couldn't run almost half year, and I really realized I love the sport so much, and I couldn't imagine not continuing doing sport. So I'm very happy, and every day I can do a run training or any training. I'm so happy, even if it's hurts or I'm tired. I just so happy to be back racing and training again. And yeah, I feel I'm getting back in shape, and it's great. It was not just like a running injury. I couldn't bike as well, so I did a lot of swimming, which I can tell now. Last 2 weeks ago on World Championship race, I went second out of the water, which was amazing, was great. So I could tell the swimming improved a lot. So now I'm just waiting for the bike and to run legs coming back.
So yeah, like she said, she had a great swim, and she's been doing a lot of swim miles because of her injury, not being able to especially run, but for a while she was saying she couldn't bike very much at all. So her swim's obviously improved.
I think that's going to help her big time tomorrow. Last year she was right on Zena's tail on the bike and the run, and if it was the swim that just let her down a little bit, then it's definitely, I reckon she'll come out on top of the water tomorrow. And then it'll be game on like last year.
Yeah. And she's kind of, I guess at the tail end of her injury, and she's starting to rebuild. So she's kind of in a different phase to the other women who are racing in Kona, and she's sort of building, I guess, into the Aussie season. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting, not only seeing her, but seeing a whole bunch of the other professional women where they're at in their phase of training and racing. Who's your pick?
Zena. Gotta be Zena.
Is that because you're a little bit scared of her?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Mooloolaba beach. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, it's great. Sun's out, guns out.
I need to work on mine a little bit. Oh, he's up.
He's up.